So the coffee table. This might end up being a very short review. I don't want to give anything away. So let's just dive in, and I will be incredibly vague in a lot of the details. So how's that for making you want to watch this video, right? Jesus and Maria are new parents, and after moving into a new place, purchase a coffee table that will change their lives forever. So my recommendation will be to go into this completely blind. Don't search out the trailer, and I'm not going to show any clips from the trailer. I'm also going to be very selective and limited in the images I use. This is billed as a horror, and while it does contain some horror elements, I think it's more accurately a psychological drama. Now, the beginning of the movie is almost like a dark comedy, a very, very dark comedy. And then it transitions into emotional unraveling. Now, as I said, the whole story revolves around this couple who are getting towards the older side of being new parents. They're probably in their mid-40s, and they have a newborn. They've also just moved into a new apartment. And Jesus, the dad, wants to get this particular coffee table they find at a furniture store. Now, personally, I think the thing is hideous. I mean, it's gaudy, and it feels like it would only feel at home within some cheesy Vegas hotel. Now, we see how both Jesus and Maria are feeling the stress of parenting, and it's taking a small toll on their relationship. And then that's when the story really kicks into gear, and we watch some jaw-dropping events play out. This is emotionally harrowing, and it wouldn't be nearly as effective if Jesus, played by David Pareja, wasn't firing on all cylinders to deliver such a devastating and haunting performance. The visuals that accompany Jesus' mental state, they help to make the experience all the more tangible. His vision is blurred and narrowed, interspersed with quick visuals that are designed to torment him and then us as the audience. And I love how a lot of what we get in this, it's not actually shown. We're given context and then small visuals that then create the mental image necessary to deliver the unease. Really, unease probably isn't strong enough. I mean, wickedly uncomfortable, I think that's better. Everything that transpires is mortifying and overwhelming. And not only do we see that with Jesus, but I began to feel those same emotions. I mean, I was sucked into what was happening, but I wasn't liking it or having any fun whatsoever. And to say I was entertained or enjoying the story, I mean, it kind of makes me question my sanity a little bit. Truth is, though, while this is stupidly distressing, it's also executed in a traumatically riveting way. And for a movie that's only 91 minutes, this is layered with elements that take the tone from bad to worse to unimaginable. The strain Maria and Jesus are experiencing, it's relatable and understandable. And then some complexities are thrown in thanks to a neighbor. And then probably the most damning of all when it comes to emotional upheaval are the conversations Jesus and Maria have over the phone, both with each other and when encountering family and friends. Now, it's impressive to have a story with such a compressed timeline that goes from uncomfortable to heinous all in one day. The pacing, it is deliberate and decisive, but somehow it didn't feel rushed. The dread is established and then it increases throughout the narrative, never letting up and just becoming more suffocating as each minute passes. And the patience to tell the story while having an intense urgency to the actions make for anxiety and restlessness. And there's also a level of misery and suffering that we see displayed in certain characters' eyes, amplifying the terrible nature of the story and then creating an environment of just emotional ruin. Now, this movie is not going to be for everybody, and while it does have a satisfying conclusion, nothing about this storyline is happy or upbeat. I mean, you're certainly going to want to put on something uplifting or fun after watching, but the investment in seeing this, it's worth it, especially if you don't mind some emotional scarring. So overall, The Coffee Table is a mix of psychological drama, seriously dark comedy, and emotional torture. The acting is spectacular, capturing the stresses of parenting compounded by unimaginable actions. The relationships are uneasy and strained, but executed in engrossing ways to craft the appropriate amount of oppressive dread. There's no sex or nudity, a lot of profanity, and while not a lot of violence is shown, the content, it is horrifying and disturbing. I give The Coffee Table 4.5 out of 5 couches. I don't think I've still fully recovered from this one. And just know that if you're not into dark stuff, avoid it. If you do love something that is going to mess you up, then get your eyeballs on this one as soon as you can. All right, what is a distressing or emotionally damaging movie that you enjoyed? Strange question, right? Well, let me know about it in the comments below. If you enjoyed this review, please give it a like. Also, don't forget to share and subscribe. I'm Chris. This is Movies and Munchies. Thanks for couching with me.